welcome, my dear friends. This is Morpheus. It's kicking off another exciting episode of Trading by the Book. Today, we're going to continue to build upon your knowledge of trading without relying on luck to have certain stability to your finances, to start building your financial independence no matter where you are in the world. The beautiful thing about this is that you're able to make some serious money without, kind of serious time, I guess, or, I don't know. For me, I have several approaches, but, I kind of do tend to like the one that where, like 15, 20 minutes, opening a position every single minute, and you're kind of done with your like 2, 3, 4, 5% per day, which has like 400, 500%. Sometimes you can go actually into thousand. If you actually hit 10% per day of your balance, $1,000 becomes $17,500 in 30 days. Nowhere else you're gonna make that kind of money. So, uh, as usually I say that, chats are open. I'm kind of hoping that some of you guys will pop in here. Ask a question about the topic at hand. This week, we're actually discussing technical analysis, support and resistance, the breakout strategies, the bounce backs. All right, so we've already covered majority of this already, yesterday, the day before that. Today, we're just continuing with this, so that you see more examples, that it's not something that's like tailored to a specific day or a specific period. This is something that extends beyond, just this platform. It's actually, the Pocket Option is a great platform because you got the demo account, you got the tournaments, you got, I don't know, chats is not really something that I usually partake in because there's lots of whining in there. But nevertheless, there is the market in here. You get certain achievements. You can exchange some money for maybe trading advantages. That's how we call them. Overall, it's a great platform because the best thing about it is that they pay out your profits, right? So they don't come up with reasons not to do that. So when you make money, you get to you get to enjoy it. You get to keep it. All right, so chats are open. Leave a comment. Obviously, subscribing is means a lot to me and my team. Leaving a comment about some ideas, thoughts that you want to clarify is also encouraged. I will answer it personally. But if you want one-on-one session, this is something that's done as well. Already my regulars in here on YouTube and on Twitch. We got Donald and Henry. They're already chatting to me in Telegram one-on-one, clarifying some thoughts, ideas, and, basically getting, setting this up. So anyways, let's kind of hop to the platform. And as I mentioned, actually, yeah, when you click here, you do have an opportunity to trade on the demo account, to test out anything that we say, because, you know what, my dear friends, I really hope that you don't just take my words at face value. Oh, I promise that this is, it isn't difficult, right? Nobody's asking you to, like, carry bags of sand or something across the desert. This is pretty easy. You wake up when you want to wake up. You just put on some technical analysis. You calculate the potential direction, and based on the probabilities, you open the proper position. That's all there is about it. All right, so today, I don't know if I'm going to be actually saying anything new today, right? I mean, we've discussed about, yesterday we talked about Fibonacci. We're talking about the instruments, right? The tools that we have. We have the Fibonacci retracement. We have the Fibonacci fan. The trend line. I mean, you guys seen me already kind of, bang these out. Let's see. All right, so we do have... I don't know. Like, what? We got like a 1 point, a 1, 1, 2. We got a third point contact. This was actually, we're looking at 1 minute graph, so which is something that, I would say it's something that is probably the minimum that I would ever want to consider. I don't know. If we go into different intervals, and this is something that I'll go into greater detail on Friday. But the lesser the interval, of the candle, the greater the market noise, right? This is something that, I don't know, I really wouldn't advise. But yet again, see, this is actually something that um, I kind of try not to do, is to say what not to do, right? There is a reason why it's a 30, there is a 30-second and 15-second and 10 and 5 even. It's just that it's something that I don't find comfortable. But if you're applying everything that we say and your statistic seems to be fine at 5, 10, 15-second candle, then the hell with anybody else's opinion. Just keep making money. All right. So today we're continuing to talk about support and resistance, and we're going to see if we can kind of spot a few more, a few more of these levels, right? So because when we did talk about support and resistance, we did talk about Fibonacci retracements. Well, what is a Fibonacci retracement? If you didn't look at the video, I do encourage you to look at the video. But if you didn't, it's kind of like a template of when certain people might, or investors might, be prompted to buy and sell their asset, right? So after we have a successful touch 3 or more times, right, on any particular line, whether it's horizontal, right, we do have them here, there's a horizontal, whether it's at an angle where you can use a ray, right, what goes into infinity, Fibonacci, retracement, or a fan, we understand that essentially when the asset reaches a particular level 3 times, that means that on the fourth one, right? I mean, isn't really ideal because it's usually this is set across the bodies of the candle. Um, but so yeah, there was a kind of a touch in the retracement, but in this case also a breakout, but then a retrace. So that's why we're setting it across the bodies. So we got 1, we got 2, we got 3. There we go. So solid. On the fourth one, when we understood that, hey, there it is, it's coming up, and at this point it kind of started to go away. Yes, that means that chances are higher. Chances are higher that this is going to continue to go downward. All right. So once it kind of came up here on the 5th time and broke through, well, on the minute candle, I mean, we are able to kind of determine that there should be at least 1 or 2 candles afterwards, or maybe more. Maybe this would have been like a really good reversal trend to continue to go higher. That once it breaks out, chances are it should continue to break out. And, well, we are able to kind of understand that when we have these reversals, right, we kind of have the same idea of like a 1, 2, you touched, it bounced away, and it kind of broke through. Again, we have, higher probability that if it breaks through, chances are it's going to continue to break through. And once that happens, then that support level, this one, for example, this one right here, is no longer valid, right? And it changes to a resistance level. So now we have like a 1. I would say like, almost like, so we could count something like here, like a 2. Here might be a 3, and this is a 2-point contact so far, right? We got 1, 2. So for a while it's been going down. We're experiencing new highest lows. Right, so there it is. There was a bit of a resistance here, which is kind of like a nice level, maybe, right? We got like, here, a bit of a kind of like a false breakout where one candle goes outside, but on the next one it comes back inside. And we actually see it here as a support level. Here it bounced through, it bounced away, but then at that point it became a resistance level. All right, actually, let's draw that up here so you guys see what I'm talking about. See, right about here, right? Let's make it a little fatter. There we go, a little bit more prominent. Okay, so we see this as kind of like a, interesting level of first support, then, resistance. So, something worth keeping an eye on. All right, look, it's been there for a while as well. So that could be a key level that we want to look at. And if we look at a different time interval, we could see maybe more. Yeah, so we see it much earlier, right? So it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. So for 12 hours, this level was a level of, interest, right? So there was a bit of sawing through it here, bounced out, came back lower. once again broke through, once again bounced away, bounced away, bounced away, bounced away. So it is a level that, that's it's a strong level of curiosity, I guess, or maybe, brings the attention, the eye of this. All right, so let's go back. Because the 5 minute, as I mentioned, I'll probably go into greater detail about this, but the signals that we would get with 5 minutes are going to be significantly less than the amount of signals that we would get with 1 minute. All right, so this is something kind of important to understand and keep in mind. All right, so we have, well, I don't know, as I mentioned, this is still a 2-point contact because, well, just because it's it's still a 2-point contact. Because we don't have a bounce away and then like testing that period again. It just keeps getting lower and lower, so we understand that as of this particular moment, right about like 10 minutes before we started chatting, the acid is going down relatively aggressive, actually. I would say that, yeah. And what we might want to do is determine at what point it's more likely to retrace. So while it's, this one is, let's change the colors so we can kind of keep an eye on. Let's make it a little bit more prominent. So far we might be actually in a channel. If it starts to become, goes a little bit lower, we might get into like a parallel, right, a parallel, kind of instrument, a parallel channel where it bounces back and forth. But so far, I understand that while it's below this line, it's going down, and we got a 2-point contact with this leveling right here. Let's make it also a little bit more prominent. All right, there we go. So far we're, just we're kind of monitoring what the acid is doing. We have, one of the indicators that I do kind of turn on and off once in a while, it's ADX. Look, you remember I told you a couple of, maybe last Friday that if it's over 20%, the ADX line, it's the orange one. And if it's, we can actually, maybe adjust this to be a little bit clearer. There we go. There. All right, so if it goes up with any particular line above 20%, there it is right here, it usually kind of gives you an idea that, man, it's got potential. It's got potential for a higher momentum, right? So that it's going down relatively aggressive right now, and at some point though, maybe at this point right now, it's going to come back and test this level. Even if it goes sideways, it will be 1, it will be 2, and there could be a 3rd point contact. And at that point, if it goes down lower, that's something that's good, because then we would establish a level of resistance for the next time. But if it bounces through and goes up right now, it would be very interesting point of interest, because, and I do believe that it is going to go up. Let's open it. There we go. There we go. Parabolic switched. We do have a sharp, kind of jump from, the ADX into a different direction. But the momentum, it's also lowering. So we are able to, oh, wait a second. Did my stuff just freeze? All right. My internet is not ideal today, but all right. Let's still, I don't know. Did I open up? Oh man, I bumbled again, didn't I? Yeah, it's for 1 minute and, oh man. All right, it should have been for just the end of the candle, but you know what? Seem to be doing this goofy thing. So we have a 1, 2, 3rd point contact. We'll see what the acid does until the end of the candle. So far, there is an inclination that it should be going up, but it could have just tested it and gone down. So I'm probably going to wait for the 3rd step martingale, but I still believe that it should go up at this point. Let's see if we're, at the end of the candle, we'll see. I'll open the 3rd step. There it is. Oh no, not there it is. There it is. Open still a upward movement, and I think fourth is probably going to be the max. I already invested $80. So when you multiply $80 by 2, it becomes 160. And yeah, so we actually have like a really good resistance level set up. We got one, we got two, we got third point contact. We have one, we have two, and now we have also a, kind of potential for a third point contact as well here. So I goofed up on this candle. I should have, at the end of this candle, I should have made money already, but it looks like, yeah, I kind of goofed up on the time, and this could cost me actually some serious money here. But let's see what the asset does. The fourth step is something that we definitely um, want to make sure that it hits in the money good, right? So there we go. We got this minute is, I keep goofing. Why is that? It should have once again closed at the end of this candle. But I have it at 1 minute. Okay, 40. All right, so 45 seconds later. I like to trade at the end of the candle, but this is where the flag is, and this is where you click and you select the time. If this is going to be on the 0, then yeah, then you're gonna, you're looking at the end of the candle be as your expiration period. But you are also able to select the timer, and at this point you got like 1 minute, 3 minutes. Ah, this is real market. That's what it is. And actually, oh my God, it's horrible. Win ratio. You know what? We're gonna go away from the real market. We're gonna go in the OTC. Actually, yeah, this is something that I usually do anyway because, as I mentioned, in the real market there is fundamental reasons. So technical analysis is not behind the wheel of of the real market, because there's usually a reason why a whole bunch of people would jump to their computers and open positions for buy or sell. So let me actually just clear the instruments, but let's set this up again in a euro dollar OTC. All right, let's take a look what we got here. Whoa, we got a beautiful, beautiful. Actually, wait a second. Let's see. We got a beautiful trend here, man. Imagine if you would have, started at this point selling with every candle, right? So we got like, where we at the time, 1452. All right, so we're talking about for like an hour, right? No, for 40 minutes, right? So yeah, from 50, right? What is it? 53. Yeah, for about 15 minutes, for 43, 53 to 43 for 15 minutes. If you would have been selling with parabolic, and at the end of every candle, so if you opened at the, at this point where it opened, you closed, you definitely, this would have been like, you have to have been like sharp as a tack, like a gunslinger to open it at the right time, so it closes lower. But technically, it should have been in the money here. This would have been a false, false signal. But second step martingale, so lose, fourth step martingale, lose, third step martingale, lose, second step, and win, lose once again. And if you go historically speaking, here it was, very quick switcheroo. Man, you would have made like your 10-15% relatively easy out of your 50 minutes worth of trading. And obviously, after this kind of relatively dominant negative movement, we see that there we go. We got a 1, 2, and we got a third point contact in the play right now, though we don't really have much of a momentum. See here, it keeps rising. We kind of see this as a sign that, there will be, continuous movement downwards. So we do need to understand when to stop. I think, what do we got? Yeah, we got the winning, so I should go back in just in case I open a goofy position. All right, so we lost $30 here. We 66% or 71%. We won 35, profit. So it didn't really make much money in the euro dollar real market. All right, so let's see what are we doing here. It kind of is breaking the third. All right, so if at this level, this is where once again we need to understand that this is not an exact science. We had, kind of like a 1, a 2, a possible third point contact. We also have a 1, a 2, and a possible third point contact. So right now we still have to kind of wait. The parabolic says that it is gonna go down still, or kind of bearish dominant. I don't know. ADX isn't really showing any kind of massive, I don't know, trending potential. So if it touches, if it breaks the top line right now, the potential is that it's going to go very little just to the one low below it. And, at that point, once again, we need to be aware, kind of aware of the possibility that if it bounces back, chances are it's going to continue to bounce back. But if it breaks through, not ideal situation because it's still a 2-point contact. We got 1, 2, 3, or we have 1, 2, 3. So at the end of these 6 seconds, we could see something. All right, what do we, and actually, as I mentioned, if I'm going to be trading with you guys, let's get this to 1 minute. There we go. And I don't know. All right, let's open a one position, first step martingale to see what's going on. We got parabolic, we got CCI, kind of showing that it should be going down. I don't know. I like certain trend reversal, like shaft trend cycle as an indicator. It does show a sell signal here. We got a sell signal from parabolic. We do see that CCI is approaching the negative 100, kind of means that there could be a couple of red candles following. So we're going to switch this to 20 just in case for the second step martingale. And once again, we're still using indicators because, it's not something that's a guarantee. See right there, it could be a false breakout and this thing could actually go back up right now. And, well, I'm gonna wait, actually, so I'm gonna choose the next minute. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a little bit more because we got now conflicting signals, so Schaff already could be actually reversing very quickly. We have 1, 2, if this goes up a little bit further, we have a 3rd-point contact, and by a little further, I mean, if it closes in the green somewhere above here, that would be a 3rd-point contact for this level, which would make it a level of resistance, but it keeps going down. So I don't know what to do. I probably would have still waited. It's always a good idea not to rush. So let's open another possible 2-point contact. Right, we got from here. We'll lower it. And well, let's see what happens in the next minute. So it keeps bearish dominant. It keeps bearish dominant, right? Let's see if we can kind of ride this wave a little bit. So it's, I don't know. At the moment, it's not something that's clear because we still have only a breakout on the 3rd-point contact instead of 3rd-point and then continuing. All right, so there we go. I got a 30, so next one will be technically a 60. All right, let's go with that. 1, 2, okay, and then the third, essentially the third should be, or 4th step will be 180. But it does look like it's bearish dominant. I don't know. All right, so we got like a 2-point contact, 1, 2, but this is kind of aggressive. Notice the time it took for it to go from, this is actually something that's very important. Notice the time. It went from here from 50 and 40. All right, so about 20 minutes before we started, it was gently, kind of slowly going back up, and, well, in about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 minutes, it came back down from the, basically from the growth that it did for quite some time. It was sawing this level for some time, so it took time to get to this, and now it looks like it's going down very aggressively at a much steeper angle. This steep angle cannot be maintained for long, right? It cannot be maintained forever. I don't know, that's why I'm going to be waiting. So we got 1, we got 2. If it kind of goes back on the following candle to touch this a 3rd time, that will be a good thing for us to, once again, to determine that this is an established level of resistance, and once it breaks through, That's what essentially it's called, a breakout strategy. The whole point of today, to kind of show you this in action. We talked about this throughout the Fibonacci's, throughout the other videos where, I cannot live without support and resistance levels, but the idea is that this is, well, this is played out. This isn't really something that held up. So we had a 1, we had a 2 on the third one, we had a 1, we had a 2 on the third one, it broke through. So these are no longer really interesting to us. Maybe we need to readjust. So we could, let's see, we could set one up as a second point contact here. We could set one up with a second point contact here. Alright, so we need to be, there we go. We're just basically following, we're kind of bouncing away from what the asset is doing right now. And we also have another one with a possibility of a 2-point contact here. Alright, so it is a very aggressive downward movement. There it is. It's approaching this level. Alright, it's approaching this level now. And let's make it a little bit more prominent. So we'll see. If it touches, that's great. But if it breaks through, at this point, it's kind of like a judgment call. I mean, we could take a first step martingale on this with no problem. But it's still, this is a good first point contact, but this isn't really like several. We can't say that this was a second point contact, this was a third, this was a fourth. I mean, it didn't really go away. It kind of sawed at this level for a while. This would have been a third point contact. So if it comes back up a little bit higher, we kind of need to just be wait. Or even if it goes sideways like it is right now and touches it and goes down further, there, I would say that, yeah, there we go. There's a third point contact. And we could say that, I don't know, can we? We can't. All right, so then we would need to wait until the end of this candle to open another position, well, to determine if it's a good idea. So Schaff says that it's still trending down, right? It's, at this point, the upward movement around here was deemed that it's over, right, at this candle. And, yeah, it keeps going down. While it's below, it's a bearish dominant. CCI is also saying that it's bearish dominant. Parabolic SAR is on the top, and it looks like it is going to be bouncing away. So I'm probably going to take another position on now. There we go. Oh, man. All right, there we go. 1 minute now. All right, till the end of the candle, right? We got 53. We got 50. Yeah, 53, well, essentially lower now. 46 seconds until the end of the candle. So I'm going to load up the $20 second step martingale. Choose the next minute for expiry, and we're just going to wait. But we do have like a relatively decent 1, 2, third point contact. So now, if it's going to come back to this level, and we see, according to other indicators, that there might be a reversal, then and it does break through, we got a breakout strategy then, right? So we need to do, and we do need to readjust these. All right, to kind of create that second point contact for possible support levels, right? We got 1, 2, 3 as the steps, and we're looking at possible, as I mentioned, second point contact, for these. There we go. So if now it's going to go and break out, well, that would be a good time to open a upward position. So we do have a lagging indicator like parabolic. And remember what I kept saying, that, the candle needs to close outside of the line, because we do have quite often even a big wick that went, it was like, whoa, it went up to here, but then whoosh, it came right back under the line. So in 25 seconds, or in, essentially 20 seconds as of now, we are able to see a possible reversal. So if it closes outside here, the following candle could be considered a bullish dominant, and there could be a reversal of a trend here. All right, so let's see, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and yeah, I'll open. Damn it, I'll open a upward position now, Parabolic is about to switch, unless it's a false breakout, which means there we go. Parabolic switched. It's on the bottom, and now we do have a second point contact. We got a one, we got two, we got one, we got two, we got one, we got two. And I would say that between if we have a horizontal line right here, as I mentioned, not an ideal science, but it looks like it kind of comes across right here, at this level. So we could go back in history to see if maybe this is also a, kind of dominant point at this moment. Doesn't, maybe it doesn't look like it could be, but here it kind of sold at this level. This is where the asset is right now. Um, all right, so I don't know. Did we make money? Oh, we're making money, right? Or are we losing? Oh, we could lose. All right, $20 very quickly. I still believe that it's going to go up. All right. And I still didn't choose the time. Keep yammering and going about this a little bit wrong. Okay. All right. So now, okay. So we have technically a breakout. I would say that I will go happily to the third step martingale. Still believing that it should go upwards. It should go up further because it was very steep decline. We got parabolic on the bottom, kind of showing that it should be going up. We do have CCI kind of making an emergence from the bearish dominant position here, signaling. But we don't. Shaft still says that it's going to be going lower. So that it's still that the trend, the downward trend, might not be over yet, right? So once once it rounds out and it touches this line, yeah, at that point we see some additional confirmation, which means that we have additional or higher probability. Um, all right. Okay, yeah, I know. I was looking actually at chat, and it said that well, I didn't really notice. Actually, something was deleted there. All right, no, all right, my friends. So yeah, let's continue. Once again, we're looking at technical analysis. If somebody is joining up right now, we're looking at technical analysis based on support and resistance leveling. Well, it does look like this level right here has been broken. We had 3-point contact. We had a 1. We had a, kind of generalized 2. It came out again, third time it bounced away, and then on the fourth time it came through. Something that we'll be able to see, to monitor over and over and over again. I think that, well, yeah, as I mentioned, this is no longer a valid level, just like we had one at this point where it touched several times, like a 1, at a 2, at a 3, and on the fourth time it broke through. Once again, we have other indicators that confirm that there might be a good, opportunity, a higher probability of, um, successful trade. All right, so let's see here. Just kind of going through the chat to see. Okay. All right. So no, not really anything I think that was worth of attention. But yeah, so once it breaks out, right, a breakout strategy is when we establish a level of resistance or support with a 3-point contact or more, and we watch when it comes down to that level or comes up to that level the following time. If it breaks through, chances are it's going to continue to break, to continue. If it touches, like the more times it touches a level, right? So 3 times the minimum to establish a level of resistance or support. But if it touches 3 times on the fourth, it breaks out, the movement, might not be as drastic. But if it touches it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and on the 8th one it breaks through, well, it raises the probability that the move is not going to be for few candles, right? That the move is going to be something significant, right? So if you're looking for moments to trade on every single candle, like on the parabolic saw right there, where you're able to the end of the candle with a few steps of martingale. If you catch a trend, right, a trend is your friend, but if you catch a trend, you can hit your daily target of like 10% in a matter of like 15, 20 minutes. So if you turn on the computer and you start looking through assets, right, you go here, you kind of, bump out, a few 92 percentile OTCs, and you see on one of them, they're like, oh, look at that, god damn, look for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 times it touched the particular level for a crazy long trend. Believe that when it breaks through, there are higher, chances, higher statistics, higher probability that it's going to go up for like, significant amount of time. All right, so let's see if we can continue. Doing live trading right now with you guys. I'm just going to move this aside. But actually, you know what? We could still say that we're looking for a new 2-point contact. So we're going to give the asset some time to go up a little bit further. And well, to see at what point it's going to start to bounce away. Um, and if it bounces away, we have kind of like a three. You know what? This does look a little bit like Fibonacci, fan or retracement, because we have levels that could, if it comes down to this level and bounces away, great. We have a 1, we have a 2, we'll have a 3rd point contact, and we're establishing a 2nd point contact right now. At some point where it's going to bounce back down, there's going to be a 2nd point contact for the resistance level. But in support, if it goes right now, let's say that it bounces away from this point and starts to go back down. If it breaks through this level, the big move might not be incoming, because the next level of interest will be this for the 3rd point contact. And if it breaks through that one, the next level, here it is. Here it is. So we're looking at, we got like a really good 2nd point contact with, previous leveling, right? So there we go. Let's see. We're losing, maybe, we're not losing any momentum here. It's still going upwards relatively aggressively. But even at some point, even if it goes up a little bit higher, it's still going to be the next highest low. Right? Are we expecting that the asset is going to go up right now, up to this level? What is the probability of that, right? Yeah, it can happen, because it's actually pocket option traders that move this, right? I keep mentioning that OTC is just, it's us, it's we who buy and sell with different time intervals, right? We're the ones that study the patterns. We open positions. When we buy, we increase demand and decrease the supply, meaning the value goes up. But when we close the position, it's the opposite, right? The closing means selling. All right, so there we go. All right, so we have possible reversal right now. Look, Shaft said here, for a buy signal, that this particular, from this point, a downward trend was moving downward, and it said that, at this point, the math behind all of this said that, yep, it's over, right? The trend is over. So, negative trend is over. So we're looking at a higher signal, or at an uptrend, and we're still not establishing a 2nd point, even though, as I just mentioned, that even though it goes up, keeps going up, it's still going to create the next lowest high, right? So the highest point of this is still going to be lower than the previous one. So we could actually, also create several, maybe 2-point contacts. At this point, it did kind of, it bounced a little bit, right? There was a lowering. It kind of bounced up. There was a bit of a, upward movement where it sawed a particular level. So we're still looking for a 2nd point, kind of like here, all right, where there might be a meeting of certain points of interest. So at this level, we have a matching, almost like, right about here. I would say it could be, right? At this point, a couple of, just when we started, we actually started, streaming right about 1600 my time. So right before that, there was once again a level of interest. At this point, it bounced away. Also, at this point, it bounced away. So it is a level of interest. And at this point, look, it bounced away. All right, so there we go. We have We have our 2-point contacts from here for resistance from here and here. And now we're seeing if it's going to go back down, and it looks like it could be actually. So let me get ready with the proper time. All right, there we go. $10. I would say that if parabolic switches to the top, if shaft rounds out or CCI lowers a little bit more, yeah, I'll open for the next position, for $10. Chats once again are open. I would love to, maybe clarify some thoughts. I mean, have you ever thought about trading? Have you ever thought about, I don't know, essentially at your own pace, additional income, right? So this could be a part-time income. This could be actually a full-time income as well. It's just that we need to make sure that we understand, what we can ask from this instrument. So, yeah, right now still I would prefer it to be going down a little bit lower. Looks like some people are interested in the buy. I mean, Parabolic says buy. Everything else right now still says bullish dominant. But, if it goes up and it goes up to this level, right now, yeah, we might see a, kind of 3rd-point contact. But if it breaks out right now, both of these levels are not really it. We have 1, we have 2. We have 1, we have 2. So if it breaks out, if it goes up above this, this is actually not an established level of support and resistance. And even though we can continue still making money um, by kind of riding the trend, because right now, actually, what we want also probably to do is to establish another one. Right? So from this point, look, it does line up. See, it does line up. So there is a pinching factor right now. So 1, 2, 3. So now this is actually a really interesting level. So if it touches this line right here, right now, I would actually say that this, there we go, kind of trying to do it as fast as possible. And this are the interesting kind of levelings, because we got 1, we got 2, we got a 3rd-point contact, we got 1, 2, 3 already. If it goes back down and breaks out, we actually can expect a relatively big movement. So let's see. If it breaks out, I'm going to give it a few points, a few pips. Let's see what the market does. Let's see what our dear pocket option beloved traders do. Let's move this as well to the following minute. All right, there we go, there we go. All right, so right now this could be, right? We got 1, we got 2, we got 3. So if it breaks out, I do believe I'm going to ride this for every single minute for a while, and I'll explain why. All right, so yeah, I'll take a chance. God damn it. All right, I'll take a chance and I'll do it a little bit. So there we go, parabolic switched, and yeah, all right. So let's put up 20-second step martingale for the following minute. And I'm gonna ride this a little bit low. I'm gonna ride this lower for maybe maybe a few, because now that it broke out, this is the next level of interest. Right? We got 1, we got 2. This is gonna be the next level of interest. So I do believe that it should go down further. I mean, I could be wrong, right? I mean, you guys, pocket options, somebody could be starting to buy, like, I opened a $10 position for down. Somebody could have opened a $100 position for an upward movement, and obviously mine will lose based on supply and demand principles. But this could be a false breakout, but I do believe that it should be going down lower. There we go. And I'm gonna kind of take my, not necessarily take my chances. It's still a calculated risk. But if it's going down right now, the next level of interest is here. Unless, unless I'm misreading it a bit, and there is a possibility of that, so not a big deal. All right, so the following minute for a 60. All right, it seems like it goes back. If it goes up to that level, there was a breakout strategy. I should have made money here actually if I opened it at the top and it closed lower, but I'm still gonna write it down. I still believe that it should go lower. Oh, all right. This is not something that I usually encourage. Oh man, I didn't switch the time. Alright, I didn't switch the time. Alright, so let's go for 180 because right now once again, we're really pushing that particular level, right? So there we go. We got a 1, we got a 2, we got a third. We still got parabolic showing down, but we also have CCI showing up. All right, we got conflicting signals. So I think at this point, I'm still going, at this point, yeah, I'm going to wait. All right, we got 1, we got 2, we got a breakout on the third. If we're looking at this orange one. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, we got breakout on the fourth. Yeah, we could readjust and do something a bit crazy. So I'm not going to be making money here, but I'm going to be limiting my loss, right? So in 10 seconds, if it closes, higher, I'm going to lose, but I'm going to lose less than I would have. Okay, so yeah, doesn't seem like it's my day, but let's see. We actually have two positions right now with 52. So if it closes above or below, I'm still going to be better off than if it closes between. All right. So we had a parabolic switch to the top here, kind of prompting us to believe that there should be a retracement going downward. But the pocket option, traders essentially they bought a little bit higher. They brought this, based on supply and demand principles, they brought this up a bit further. So let's see. Right now we got parabolic on the bottom. We got that means kind of that it's bullish dominant. But as you can see, it's still kind of trying to test our entry point. Look at that. It looks like I'm going to be losing big bucks today. All right, not a big deal, not a big deal, because this is where, once again, we're going to say, you know what? We're going to make this up as we go along. So it's going to take a little bit of time, because obviously we lost, a bit of money today, but it's always better not to press the next one, because the following position would have to have been close to 1,000. Even though my balance can handle this, not really something that I would feel very comfortable with. That's a lot of money for me. And that's why we need to understand where our stop loss is. So at this point, I would actually say that I would probably prefer to go, and probably what I'll do right now is I'll prefer to go and make myself a sandwich. Actually, well, right after the stream, in a couple of minutes, I'm going to go and pick up my kid from the kindergarten. But when I come back, probably put her, I'm going to do some coloring books, and I'm going to make this money back up. I'm going to make this, back up. So it's just going to take a little bit of time now that I'm not going to be distracted with trying to present this information. There is a higher likelihood that I'm going to make this money a little bit quicker. All right. So, my dear friends, support and resistance levels, they give us a points of interest, and then we look at different indicators to find out whether it's a good idea to enter a position, the higher or lower likelihood. If you want to trade one-on-one with me, you're certainly able to do that. Just reach out in the Telegram channel. And door is always open. Leave a comment, obviously subscribe or, go through the link, test out Pocket Options, a wonderful platform in the demo account. Put what we discuss in the streams to the test. And obviously, if certain questions arise, I'm always going to be very happy to clarify this. So reach out when you can. I'm here, Morpheus with you, is always with you, trying to give the red pill the truth about all of this. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.